quieter. If the cold doesn't bother you, let's take a walk outside.
I'm appreciating the outfit. Hi guys, it's Mimberly and welcome back to the channel. The hell's going on with my voice? Okay, myth time. And it's Zayne this time. Last time he nearly made me cry. So I'm nervous. And again, a massive shout out to one of my friends for allowing me to use her account so I can play through the myths myself directly. Because I do not actually have this myth unlocked on my account yet. So let's get straight into it, because I'm genuinely scared for what this is going to bring. Under Astra's command, may the Foreseer deliver his will, for that is his fate. Oh god. In the coldest regions of Phylos, the Foreseer has resided in the Tower of Thorns since time immemorial. The almighty Astra bestowed his power onto him, ordering the Foreseeker to act as an emissary for the divine. The royal family sends an envoy to the Tower of Thorns every 100 years to listen to the Foreseer's prophecies. Yet the Foreseer has not bestowed a prophecy to the royal family in hundreds of years. Envoys sent by His Majesty never returned. Their whereabouts remain unknown to this day. There is a rumor that the Foreseer has perpetually frozen an icy tomb. To him, 100 years is but the blink of an eye. And so, a new envoy travels through the snow and ice, entering his tower. It happens again and again, as it always has for the past thousands of years. But I am not a real envoy. I'm here to treat my illness. To do that, I must take the Cratio protocol from this Foreseer's scepter. I have no other choice. Uh-oh, I am sensing trauma with this one. Suppressing my anxiety, I walk into a massive room and bow respectfully. I am His Majesty's envoy, sent here to listen to the Foreseer's prophecy. My voice echoes through the empty room. I look up to see a man who's wearing a blue robe. He sits on a throne of ice as he holds a scepter. That must be the Foreseer. It's going to be Zayne, we know that already. How strange. His body's ensnared in brambles, thorns wrapping around his arms, legs, and chest. It would seem he's shackled to the throne. I slowly approach him. I see his head lowered, his eyes shut. He's encased in ice. Is he unconscious? Why does he look so handsome though? There are no signs of life. 'Tis truly an icy tomb. Shall I take the Cratio protocol? Yeah, that's not a wise idea, Mimsy. Mimsy, this is not a good idea. Oh.
How impudent.
Hello. Foreseer? Is my imagination playing tricks on me? Isn't he frozen, or is he just pretending? He's a lot more sprightly than I thought. Every book I've read of him describes him
as those
man.
tomes you've gleaned through have taught you nothing about etiquette.
I dressed up for you today! You're not actually frozen? He's not moving. Is he immobilized?
It seems you do not know what true horror is.
I don't want to know.
Your actions are testing my patience.
He's scary!
Do you know what happens when fools disrespect the Foreseer?
And you are frozen. My expectations were a bit higher than
Winter
this.
punishes every wrongdoing in due time.
Haven't you heard of doing what is necessary in a bad situation?
But who exactly is in a bad situation?
eyes is more like a crystal. What is it?
You have a wild curiosity and a brazen tongue.
Jesus Christ, he is harsh in this one. Holy hell, and your tongue is like ice winter's loveless embrace. National punishment,
punishment.
for being impolite. Aren't you furious?
Fury? Those sorts of emotions I no longer have any use for.
I was caught up in the moment. I must finish what I started. Where did that come from? You can move? That means...
I've played enough of your little games. You forget yourself, testing the limits of my benevolence.
Calm down. I need to prepare for a fight. I'm His Majesty Envoy.
An honest death is not a suitable punishment for every pretender.
Yeah, to be fair, we did push his buttons. Though he does look good in that outfit. Before I can react, a cold sensation coils around my feet. I look down and see frost climbing up my
Tell
legs.
me, do you know the fate of thieves who sought the Creatio Protocore?
Ice reaches my neck and is like a cold hand that tightly grips my throat. Without sparing a glance, the Foreseer walks past me. He disappears into the shadows. Where are you going, Foreseer? The crystals cover my mouth, sealing it. Jesus, is he just gonna walk away and just leave us there? The next time I open my eyes, sunlight drifts through the window adorned with roses. He left me here for the night? The Foreseer sits on his throne, reading a book. The sun's glow casts an illusion of softness on his cold demeanor. Foreseer, a fine morning we have today. He doesn't look at me. It seems he won't even give me a chance to explain myself. You've been encased in ice for ages, but you still read on that throne. Shouldn't you be tired of the world's greatest chair after staying there hundreds of years?
You may try it yourself, then inform me of your findings.
Foreseer turns another page of his book. No, I can't feel my body at the moment. I have yet to eat anything after entering the Tower of Thorns. Could I choose my words carefully, yet he still doesn't look up.
A human can survive for 7 days without food. Given your stubborn character, you should live for an extra 2 days.
You're not gonna leave me frozen for 9 days, are you? I choke up and my eyes begin to water.
Are those tears of your remorse?
Alright, I'm not His Majesty's envoy. I'm here to ask for a prophecy of my future. Every prophet I consulted said I have 3 years left to live. I refuse to believe them. He finally looks up from his book. I'm telling the truth this time.
Indeed, they are delusional.
Have you scribed my fate, Foreseer?
To disguise yourself as the king's envoy and sneak into the Tower of Thorns, you certainly have less than 3 years.
Foreseer, you can't... Ice covers my mouth again. The Foreseer resumes his reading. I'm not sure I like Zayne in this one, guys. He's being a bit of a dick. An endless silence returns to the throne room. Nightfall greets the tower. Taking the place of sunlight, moonlight shines into the room. Today is the first day of my punishment for entering the Tower of Thorns. I've come to a realization after being frozen here. It is nigh impossible to warm the heart of a demigod who lives in these rime-kissed lands. In the middle of the night, I am awoken by a radiant flash. Golden words float before me. They are magics cast by the Foreseer's book. Is he looking for something? The Foreseer stares at the words, brow furrowed. He is not happy with what he is seeing. I try to utter a sound. The force here remains unmoving.
Do you wish for your mouth to be sealed once more?
That's a book about gardening, is it not? I also adore flowers. His wintry gaze falls on my face.
Your mouth is only capable of spouting nonsense.
I'm not lying. I used to be a gardener. Every flower I care for turns out splendid. This reminds me of my nan, actually. My nan loves gardening. She really does. And it's stereotypical, but I used to buy her a plant like every year because I know that's what she would like. I'm pretty sure she's got most of them still in her garden that I gave her. The Forseer stops what he's doing. The sharpness of his gaze pierces me, trying to gouge the truth from my head. Did I offend you? He looks away. With a lift of his finger, the ice on my body begins to melt. My punishment is over? Without any support, I fall to my knees.
If you desire it, then I shall indulge you.
The Forseer closes his book. The words of gold dissipate and the room is plunged into darkness. Once my eyes readjust to my surroundings, the Forseer has already descended from his throne.
Come, then.
There you go. I follow him, climbing the spiraling staircase of the tower. I'm out of breath by the time we reach the top. Meanwhile, the Forseer is unfazed. In the distance, snow-covered mountains are like white seashells. Impossible. I was not brought here to admire the scenery. I suddenly notice a tiny white flower bud between the bricks. Why is jasmine growing in a place like this? The Forseer's frigid gaze observes my every action. I carefully examine the bud. There's something wrong with it. I doubt it'll bloom anytime soon.
Will you be able to care for it?
I considered the possibilities, but the Forseer seems to predict my next action. He moves towards me, looking into my eyes.
Answer me.
Yes, of course. It's a miracle for anything to grow here. Without a competent gardener tending to it, the bud will inevitably die. I emphasize the phrase tending to it and glance at the Forseer's expression. He gazes at the bud and touches its small leaves.
If this jasmine blooms, you may leave the tower with your livelihood intact.
Oh, Christ. I'd be fucked then royally. I'm not sure if I'm imagining things, but it seems the Forseer holds the jasmine in higher regard than I. For now, in order to buy myself time and an opportunity, I have to say yes. Alright, I agree to your terms. So we gotta stop a jasmine from dying so we can get out there alive. Right, I'm getting cold, so I'm gonna throw a jumper on and I will be right back. Okay, I forgot I had this jumper, and this is by far one of the warmest things I have in my wardrobe. So yeah, the winter wardrobe is definitely coming out. You guys are just lucky I've not recorded in my hoodie yet. Because there's been the temptation on multiple occasions. Oh god, right, okay. Come on then, back to focus. I stare at my reflection in the mirror. There on my bosom are blue markings engraved on my flesh, like cracks that would appear if someone wedged their blade into the frosted ground. It's a symptom of cryoaresis. Now, I am not a smart cookie, so I am going to have to Google what exactly that is. Plus the fact it'd be good for you guys who don't know. Cryoaresis. Apparently it's a psychological horror game. No, I mean condition. Okay. Right, it's an internal experience of confusion and anxiety to the... okay, no, that's just a crisis in general. Never mind, the internet does not want to tell me what it is, unless I've spelt it incorrectly. Is that why it's not coming up? I've spelt it incorrectly? Apparently some sort of skin condition, something related to the cold. Okay, never mind. I will go fuck myself then, I guess. Cryoaresis is a rare, strange disease. Physicians have only recorded a few cases in old textbooks. The infected will eventually lose consciousness and be unable to move as if frozen solid. Only the Creatio Protocol from the Tower of Thorns can remove it. To make that peculiar jasmine bloom... This is my chance. I need to befriend the Forseer so he lets his guard down. Only then will I be able to approach the Creatio Protocol. Why does the Foreseer care so much about that Jasmine? I need to investigate. I feel like MZ's getting herself into trouble here. The following morning, I examine every part of the tower. Every decoration in the tower is beautiful, but each one lacks character. They possess the same aloofness as the Foreseer himself. It appears they're trying to frighten strangers. This place is huge. You must be in your prime to find the Foreseer. Having found a silver bottle, I fill it with water. Once I reach the top of the tower, I see him. His back is turned to me, yet I am on edge. You are not here to supervise me, correct?
It appears your confidence is lacking.
My confidence is not wanting in the least. As I hurry to water the jasmine, I begin to pray. O fairest jasmine, my life is in your leaves. Don't partake in the sweetness of death. From the pinnacle of the tower, I spy a group of people walking along the mountain path. They resemble ants that fell into a desert of salt. If there are others here to distract the Foreseer, it will be to my advantage. I point at those tiny figures. Are they here to receive your prophecies? The Foreseer glances at them. With his right hand, he writes a series of silver symbols in the air. Suddenly, a blizzard befalls us. It swallows the mountain path and the people disappear in the blanket of white. Are you trying to kill them?
After getting lost in the snow, they'll have no choice but to turn back. Their survival is but a guarantee.
While I was already impressed by his previous demonstrations of magic, this is the first time I've been stunned by the Foreseer's power. Do you despise the requests for prophecies?
Fate cannot be changed. Instead of acknowledging this truth, humans still fight against it, especially when their future is not what they hoped it would be.
As he speaks, the Foreseer glances at me. I lower my head, pretending to agree with him. I understand. I will focus on tending to the jasmine and not ask about my future. Even if it's meaningless, I'm not going down without a fight. I just hope my resignation will help me gain the Foreseer's trust. Several days pass. I've already memorized my daily routine for taking care of the jasmine. I could do it in my sleep. In the morning, I hum as I take my silver bottle to the tower's pinnacle. There I see the Foreseer gazing at the sky. Good morning, Foreseer. Oh God. Hesitating, I look up to see a sky free of clouds, serene azure reaching far and wide. Do you need someone to listen to your musings?
Silence. Gardeners do not require mouths to work.
Jesus Christ, you're savage! I silently water the jasmine, then observe the Foreseer, who is acting strange. Suddenly, the sky is filled with the cries of birds. I'm shocked by what I see. Thousands and thousands of silvery white birds fly towards the Tower of Thorns. The sky is covered in a shroud of crystalline feathers, clear as frost in the morning sun. They shimmer like a nebula within reach. What are they?
Arcticyons.
The Foreseer raises a hand. One of the birds lands on it, seemingly answering his summon, and happily chirps. Does it know you?
They pass the tower every year when they migrate.
The Foreseer looks at the little bird, and his expression full of warmth would greet an old friend with.
Alas, that was eons ago.
I have never laid my eyes upon such a creature as stunning as the Arcticyon.
Your hand.
Reluctantly, I hold it out, and he places his hand on top of mine. I panic and pull back my hand.
Don't be afraid. Humans are the least of their concern.
His hand, warmer than I imagined it to be, gently grabs my palm. The silvery white bird hops from the Foreseer's hand to mine. His feathers reflect the colour of the sky, depictively dictating a light, brilliant blue. It's lovely. I guess you don't just stay secluded indoors and read all the time.
So that is the conclusion you arrived at while resting in ice.
Oh, resting? Is that what you call it? It's because I'm curious about the Foreseer. Your name appears in the tome of the Foreseer, but the text only speaks of you as Astra's tool. I don't think his accounts are accurate. The Foreseer remains expressionless.
Astra does not write his own story. The imagination of mortals is what remains in the sands of time.
The Foreseer lets go of my hand and the Articurion returns to its flock. Quietly, he watches them fly away, bidding them farewell. I have to admit, you aren't as merciless as Winter. You care about the Jasmine, and you remember to wait for the Articurions once you're able to move. The coldness in the Foreseer's gaze returns.
You are not here to study my behavior. Your wild curiosity almost led to your demise.
So she's seeing the softer side of him now, huh? I feel like this one's going to be a heartbreaker. I don't know why. While the Foreseer checks the Jasmine every day, it's not enough to get closer to him or the Creator Protocol. I need to spend more time with him. Today, after watering the Jasmine, I purposely walk by the throne room. The Foreseer is reading. It's a wonderful morning, Foreseer. Have you paid a visit to the Jasmine?
What do you want?
Jesus Christ, he is so savage. I don't want anything. Why would I?
You never passed the throne room after watering the flower.
He actually noticed. Did you know today is Wish Hen Day?
I have heard of it.
Where I come from, everyone prays to Astra by lighting sky candles. I made one with a few scraps of paper, very simple, but tonight, the Foreseer looks up from his book.
I don't do such things.
He certainly knows how to silence me with a single sentence. As night watches over me, I climb to the top of the tower with my sky candle. I wait, but the Foreseer has yet to reveal himself. He's not going to join me. Of course, he's the Foreseer. With Astra's blessing, he sees prayers are a waste of time. I light the candle and its weak flame shines a small glimmer. Oh, Obsidian Astra, the Almighty, please don't let me become like ice. There are so many places I wish to visit, things I wish to do. Please, I just want to live a little bit longer. I whisper my wish and let go of the sky candle. I watch as it floats into the air. When it reaches a person's height, it breaks, flutters and falls to the ground. Has Astra declined my wish? I kneel down and silently pick up the scattered pieces. I turn my head in the direction of the footsteps. Under cloudless sky, radiant moonlight illuminates a figure. It casts a glow as white as snow on those blue robes. I force myself to smile. 'Tis a good joke, for even Astra thinks my ridiculous wish. He told me to give up.
For him to hear you, I suggest using a sturdier vessel.
An iridescence glitters in my hand and materializes into a lantern of frost. Is this ice? You can set ice aflame?
That would be determined by your fervent hope.
Still hesitant, I light the ice lantern. The fire flickers before the lantern is engulfed, ice turning into a warm orange. How do I let the winds carry it? The Foreseer's face is lit up by the ice lantern's display of colours. Fire has brought warmth to his frigid face. Or frigid, I can't English today. A few symbols in the air, and almost immediately the lantern in my hand comes to life. It floats to a greater height. I've never seen a sky candle like this. I thought you didn't celebrate Wish Hen Day.
I wasn't lying. However, it just so happens a few lights are needed for tonight.
The symbols the Foreseer has drawn begin to transform into ice lanterns that soar into the air. Above the tower's pinnacle, countless lit ice lanterns fill the silent night sky. I gawk at the spectacle right before my very eyes. It's gorgeous. Will Astra hear my wish with so many lanterns?
Only he knows.
The Foreseer heads towards the stairs. You're just gonna leave? Why don't you make a wish?
There is nothing for me to wish from Astra.
He leaves without so much as sparing me a glance. The Foreseer is kind despite his appearance, But if he learns of his unwitting assistance in helping me wish for the Creator Protocol, he would find it absurd. I'm 50-50 about this one. I'm on the MC side because I would probably want to do the same thing, but at the same time, I understand Zayne's point of view as well, so it's a bit, Under my care, the jasmine bud grows bigger by the day. I am happy, but also nervous. According to my expertise, the jasmine will bloom in less than a week. I don't have much time. I've also learned, other than reading and checking on the jasmine, the forester stays inside at a location hidden behind an ordinary door in the basement. What does he do in there? Is the Creatio Protocol's location, perhaps? When the forester disappears behind that door again, I pretend to lose way and follow after him. What greets me is an unbelievable sight to behold. Behind that door is a library, the ceiling is nowhere to be found. Bookshelves stretch as far as the eye can see. Does the forester obtain his books from here? How can he even find anything in this place? I don't even know where he is. My mumbles activate some sort of switch. Ice materializes beneath my feet and carries me into the air. Huh? The mystery of how he acquires his books has been solved. I feel as though I'm lost in a sea of books, for shelf after shelf is filled to the brim with them. The ice stops in front of a bookshelf. I'm a good distance off the ground. He's not here. The ice doesn't move. I carefully grab the book right in front of me. Its title, Philos Floral Inquiry. I open the book and see the pages about jasmines that have been read the most. Jasmines again? Why is this flower important to him? Is it just because he wants the one on top of the tower to bloom? Reading the notes, I try to piece together an answer. When I return to the title page, there is a single word on it. Zayne. Zayne? Who is this Zayne?
He is the person you seek.
Huh? I knew he was going to be right there. I turn around. On a platform of ice, the Forseer stands behind me. His steadfast gaze sends a chill down my spine. I had no intention of intruding, Forseer. The ice kidnapped me.
Are you claiming the frost coerced you?
I take a step back, forgetting I stand on a sheet of ice. My foot touches nothing. Help! In a moment, I let go, from descending to being caught in the air.
Expressing your regret does not require theatrics.
Are you mocking me? I find that hard to believe. His eyes, their depth seemingly immeasurable, are close to my face. The Forseer carries me to the ground. I come to my senses and lower my head. You can let go. It was good that you were present. It must be dangerous to acquire your books like this.
Likewise, 'tis dangerous to push one's duty onto others.
Others? An ice cluster appears in front of me and slowly spins. The ice at my feet, is this its original form? Are you its creator?
'Twas not the work of magic, but a phantasm.
The Forseer traps the ice cluster.
Carrying her to the higher shelves without a reason was your doing. Am I wrong?
It unfurls and blooms like jasmine, ice particles rippling around us. Does it understand our language?
We are like-minded in our distaste for lies.
Though part of me is still in disbelief, the Forseer's spells and this library's very existence are starting to convince me that what I've experienced is real. My apologies. I snuck in because I wanted to know what you did here. The ice heard me talking to myself, so it flew me up there. The phantasmal jasmine runs circles around me before leaping into my hand.
Your forgiveness is boundless, for better or worse.
It accepts my apology? Ice gathers under me again, and it lifts me into the air. I stumble. I'm about to fall again. Yet another piece of ice appears beneath my foot, steadying me. Curious, I take another step. Regardless of the direction I take, ice forms around me. I walk around, excitement in every step. 'Tis like having a platform at my command. Incredible! It knows what I'm about to do!
The individual subconscious is also a form of energy. It can sense even the smallest of changes.
This is cute. May I name it Jazz? It was reminiscent of jasmine when it unfurled.
You and the phantasm should decide. I am but a witness.
I stop before the Foreseer. With my icy platform, I can look him straight in the eye. Then may I call you Zayne? With a piercing gaze, he stares at me. A name defines a person. 'Tis important, I would think. I'm unable to read his expression.
Do what you must.
Wait, did we name Zayne too? Like we named Sylus? Zayne. Zayne. I stand in front of the mirror, mumbling Zayne's name under my breath. All my mind can focus on is him in the library, watching me scurry about. I encroached on his territory by sneaking into the library. Why didn't he lash out? Does he trust me now? The icy marks on my chest are reflected in the mirror, tendrils spreading and twisting, approaching my collarbone. My time is nearing its end. At this time, an idea presents itself. Since Jazz took me to the Overseer in the library, could I also use it to obtain the Creatio Protocol? Jazz? Are you here? I call out to it. The sound of swirling ice reverberates in the air. The cluster of ice manifests and make an arc in the air to greet me. You're here. Jazz, I have a request. Could you take me to the Foreseer's sector? The phantasm stops moving. I Astra's eyes. Does Jazz know of my true purpose? I wish to... Before I can fully explain myself, Jazz expands and lunges at me. Huh? Am I destined to perish in the cold? Before I could utter a scream, I realized the crystals phased through my body. There is only darkness. The faint sound of running water catches my attention. Where am I? A distance away, I can make out an indigo spark. That surely must be the Creatio Protocol. Thank you, Jazz! As the light is within my reach, I take note of my surroundings. Huh? Steam escapes behind a dark-coloured curtain. Moonlight shines through the window, landing on Zayne's shoulders and revealing the droplets of water running along his back. Oh. Why was I brought to the Foreseer's bedchamber? I must take my leave before he notices. I hold my breath and take one step back. Ah! Zayne turns around and our gazes meet. I am so disappointed that you have your shirt on right now. Oh, I'm sorry for disturbing you, but I swear on my name that Jazz brought me here. Maybe the turmoil in my mind is playing tricks, but Zayne is unperturbed. With the slightest curl of a finger, the steam around us turns into a white cloth that hangs around his waist. With another wave of his hand, an unseen force pulls me in his direction. I stand before him.
What brings you here?
His hair, his face, his chest, all wet from the water. I am unable to avert my gaze and I feel a rising heat on my face. But what's more astonishing is the number of scars etched on Zayne's body. I thought the jasmine was about to bloom. I wasn't aware you were bathing! Having coughed up a pitiful excuse, I close my eyes. I sense the invisible force is gone. I open my eyes and Zayne is putting on his robes.
No one could have predicted Jazz to be unwavering in its loyalty to you. However, I expected as much. It knows only of us and thus considers you a friend.
Are you going to punish Jazz? It only indulged in my whimsy.
Should I punish you in its stead?
Maybe? I didn't expect to begin like this in this episode. Zayne's unwavering gaze meets my eyes. If the Jasmines meet something terrible as I sit in an icy prison for 3 days and 3 nights...
Worry not. Punishment awaits.
Oh god. What do you mean? Are you going to kill me after the jasmine blooms?
Is a horrible death the only consequence you can think of? I have no interest in taking the life of another.
Is it for this reason you will let me leave?
You should decide that for yourself.
With a wave of Zayne's hand, I am pushed out of his bedchamber by an unseen force. Oh my god. I was not expecting some spice in this episode. Oh my lordy lord. Zayne will catch me if I'm anywhere near the Creator Protocol, and the more I learn of Zayne, the greater the mystery enshrouding him. Those scars etched into his flesh. Someone has stabbed him, yet no one else lives in this tower. How could he have been wounded? He's also blessed by Astra. Who could be powerful enough to injure him? My curiosity extends our current relationship. In other words, I will never be given an answer. The very next day, I visit the library at midnight. Jazz takes me to the same shelf that has Philo's Floral Inquiry. Is Zayne always reading this book? Everything is connected to the Jasmine. I open the book and study the text, paying special attention to pages with... English. I open the book and study the text, paying special attention to pages with notes left by Zayne. Once again, Jasmine appears. How is it related to all of this? I read his note out loud, and responding to my voice, the pages begin to glow. What is happening? Oh, we're seeing a flashback, isn't it? When my vision returns, I find myself in a sea of white flowers. The sun's golden rays shine on this field of jasmines. Except the flowers aren't in bloom, they're all flower buds. Nearby, a familiar figure, its watcher I presume, observes this field. Zayne, why are you here? Where are we? Zayne turns to look at me, confusion in his expression.
Have we met before?
Huh?
Who are you?
As I approach him, I realize his body is but a mirage. Sunlight passes through his robes. His appearance is that of Zayne's, but he lacks the Foreseer's frigid character.
Through what means did you enter this place?
I was just reading a... Am I in the book?
You stand in an illusion crafted by words and words alone.
Then, what are you? A corner of his mouth curls up.
A lowly wraith.
The sight of Zayne's face smiling was the last thing I thought I'd see in this life. Then again, I've met Jazz. I have slowly come to accept these bizarre events. Were you the one to plant these jasmines?
They are more than mere flowers.
Are they, phantasms? As I ask him, I touch one of the buds. An image appears in my mind. Zayne lowering his head to kiss the jasmine. What?
My memories. Or perhaps it would be better to say they are the jasmines in my memories.
I touch another one. This time I see Zayne in an unfamiliar garb, but still lowering his head to kiss the flower. Why does the Zayne in these memories appear to be from the same era?
Each one is my life of another time.
Is your destiny and the jasmine intertwined?
All I can recall is my end with that moment.
You know what I saw.
Again and again and again, like a cycle. I do not remember what happens after. Therefore, these buds can never blossom. 'Tis why I bring each one here.
I stare at the seemingly endless ocean of flower buds. If each one represents a memory without an end, then how many are there? I recall Zayne's note. Once again, Jasmine appears. Isn't the Foreseer able to see the fate of everyone in the world?
He cannot see his own.
Oh. The wraith, seemingly moments away from dissipating into sunlight, looks into the distance.
Such is Astra's will.
Astra's stopping him from remembering and looking into his own future. I leave the library and slowly climb the staircase. My thoughts still linger on the book's illusion. I reach the top of the tower, and there Zayne stands in the moonlight, in the moon's accumulative glow, thinking deeply while gazing at the jasmine. I understand its significance to him now. He's pinning his desire to remember onto the flower bud.
You are not forbidden from entering the library, but you cannot venture there as you please.
Zayne, have you ever considered leaving the tower? Zayne looks at me, his emotions inexplicable.
What text did you find to make you ask such a thing?
Maybe these jasmines represent the outside. Zayne lifts his hand and I am perpetually pulled toward him. His hand grasps my throat, his wintry gaze meeting mine.
Your insolence reveals itself. Allow me to remind you of your place.
Fear spreads throughout my very being. All of a sudden, the Creator Protocol on his scepter releases an eerie indigo light. Frowning, Zayne relaxes his grip and pushes me away.
Stand back.
Zayne?
Stay away from me.
Before I can do anything, a myriad of brambles sprout and sliver with serpentine precision towards Zayne. What are these things? Seemingly alive, the brambles ensnare Zayne's entire body and dig into his limbs and torso. It's exactly like our first meeting when he was bound to the throne. These... are they preventing you from leaving? His gaze is as cold as winter stink.
The Foreseer cannot set foot outside the Tower of Thorns.
One of the brambles rushes for me. It scrapes my arm, a line of blood red as proof. Zayne lifts his finger. Ice appears and shields me from the brambles.
A few swipes is all it needs to take your life.
I remembered the Creator Protocol glowed when I talked about being outside the tower. Is this because I suggested you leave this place? Your wounds, are they from the brambles?
He is warning us.
Astra? I realized any Astra could perpetually freeze him. The Creator Protocol is his method to keep an eye on the Foreseer. Not only does Astra punish any attempt to leave the tower, but even the mere thought of it is also intolerable. You've attempted to leave the tower, yes? That is why Astra punished you.
I have no recollections of such.
Jasmine's. I'm sorry, I was unaware. I assumed you didn't want to leave.
You've begged enough for forgiveness. Destiny's guiding hand may have brought you here, but it is time to abandon your curiosity.
The bramble seemed to have calmed down and disappear into smoke. If not for my wounded arm, I would have assumed I was dreaming.
There will be a solar eclipse tomorrow. I must wait at the tower's pinnacle for the prophecy. Unless I tell you, you are prohibited from entering.
Astra gifted me one of his eyes to the Foreseer. By walking the winding path of time, did the Foreseer understand his passing. This is the power of a god. Shit. The moon masks the sun, and only a golden ring remains. A beam of light strikes the Creatio Protocol. Light reflects off of it, forming chaos and patterns of disorder, which is brought into the hands of the Foreseer. Ancient symbols gradually appear as he pieces together a puzzle. Astra's will has presented itself, and the Foreseer's indifferent facade reveals a hint of indignation as he is too imprisoned by the prophecy. Astra has spoken. Those who defy fate are sinners and shall be punished by him. Jesus Christ! How did this come from cute to steamy, like from intriguing to cute to steamy, then to fucking deep? Oh my god. Jesus. This is madness. I have to take a break. When I open my eyes, I find myself lying on the floor of my room. Moonlight cascades onto the empty bed. I only recall being overwhelmed by a strange feeling at dawn. Was I unconscious for a whole day? I look in the mirror. The marks have already reached my neck. My clothes won't be able to hide them now. If I take the Creatio Protocol, will the Overseer still be Zayne? And if he isn't the Foreseer, he's doomed to be trapped in a prison forever. Doesn't that make him a prisoner? I don't want to hurt Zayne, but I can't die like this. Can I not help you? What if I told Zayne the true extent of my illness? I enter the library. Ice appears in front of me, forming an arc. Jazz, is the Foreseer here? The phantasm sways from left to right. He isn't. You and the Foreseer dislike lies. Would he ever forgive someone who has lied to him? Jay sways in an agitated manner. Of course. He won't forgive me then. Jazz hears sorrow in my voice, and a platform of ice appears under my feet, lifting me up. More ice appears, shimmering and glittering. He's trying to comfort me. Thank you, Jazz. I sit on the ice, travelling between the endless rows of shelves. Has Zayne read all the books here? I wonder what the Foreseer does when he's upset. Then again, he might just scowl, regardless of his mood. As I mumble to myself, it begins to snow. I am in awe, watching snow descend like flower petals dancing in the wind. A few snowflakes land onto my hand. They sparkle like crystals and do not melt. What are they?
Were you not the one asking about what I do when I'm upset?
I hear a calm voice from below. I sit on the floating platform and Zayne stands at the door looking up at me. So it is possible. Was the prophecy not to your liking?
It matters not. Only a true envoy of the king can deliver it.
You're mocking me again. You aren't upset then? Zayne lifts a finger. The ice carries me down to him. He looks me in the eye.
And you? What do you do?
I think of the flowers I planted as they sway in the breeze. I dance.
I thought humans only dance when they are happy.
Not all of them. The more upset I am, the more I try to move around. Zayne glances up at me and then holds out his hand.
May I?
Okay guys, just a quick disclaimer before we go any further, because I feel like we could be leading to this. I bought a waterproof mascara. I'm not kidding, I genuinely bought the Maybelline Firework waterproof mascara because I was scared I was going to ruin my makeup again from last time. You know, your girl learns from her mistakes. Are you requesting a dance? Here?
We will both feel better if we dance under the snow.
I hesitantly look at Zayne. His expression is reminiscent of a merciless blizzard as per usual.
Would you prefer we do something else?
We can dance. The warmth of Zayne's hand spreads from my fingers to the rest of my body. In the tower's library, we waltz. Snowflakes gently flutter about and we step on the jasmine-shaped ice. Everything has led to this precious moment. We gaze into each other's eyes, our hands touching, our steps synchronized. You've lived here by yourself since the beginning. Who taught you how to dance? This can't be your first time.
Perhaps my body still remembers the motions from the past.
Are you referring to your other lives?
The Foreseer cannot truly die, so your description isn't right.
Zayne looks at me, but he's gazing into a long time ago. What is it like to remember things from another era?
It is no different than being in a never-ending snowstorm.
I watch Zayne, the loathsome air surrounding him. Though we are in the same room, moving to the same rhythm, he is a dreamer whose dream may soon come to an end. I squeeze his hand. If the snowfall is eternal, find someone to dance with you. At the very least, the two of you will be very happy. Zayne's gaze sweeps across me like a feather brushing across my cheek.
You don't seem to be upset anymore.
Our dance would be better with some music. Following the rhythm of our steps, I start to hum. My voice echoes within the library.
You always hum this melody when watering the jasmine.
They've noticed.
Will you sing for me?
What's with these boys' obsessions of singing? I can't sing, for Christ's sake. I sound like a dying chipmunk. To the afterglow cries cosmic demise, our world in deceptive amber paradise. In these sands of time, my frozen bouquet awaits. With your gaze so full of wonder, I hold four jasmines asunder. His secrets revealed. Hark the bard, O legends unfold. This distant tale they sing to you. Unspoken desires, serene and true. A jasmine in time's embrace. A fragment aria, a moment's grace. Oh. This is not easy to read. Zayne cannot recall the first time the Jasmine appeared. Ever since he took upon the mantle of Foreseer, the Tower of Thorns had always been home to the Jasmine that never bloomed. It is like a riddle forever waiting to be solved, or maybe it's a metaphor for his fragmented memories. The Jasmine's existence is an unremovable thorn, a reminder of his past, of his failure to remember who he is. Zayne dreams the same dream. It is one he has dreamt many, many times. He kisses the jasmine bud, and then his entire being sinks into darkness. Zayne! Zayne! Yet he hears her, her voice cutting through the shadows. Why does her voice sound as if it's from the jasmine itself and from the distant past? Theory time! Hold on! I got an idea! Again, I could be completely wrong here. What if Astra has purposely blocked Zayne's memory of us? And every time he's like gone, the MC is basically represented as that jasmine that never blooms. So if we can get the jasmine to bloom, he'll remember us? Call me weird, it's just a theory. It's not, well, no, it's not a game theory because I'm not that bloody good. But hear me out here. Every single MC, depending on which love interest you're with, is being represented by a different thing. So for Zayne, it's Jasmine's. For Xavier, it was the star charm, like it was a memory. For Raphael, he's got the bond in his chest, or the contract. Sylus, we kind of share half a soul. Hence why, which is what you guys have actually thanked very, very kindly has put in the comments, was one of the reasons we had that linkage. Because our souls weren't wanting to leave each other, and it gets longer every time because we're more bonded. So, hear me out. If Caleb is the next love interest, that is going to really twist up the story. And I know that the devs have said that, you know, Caleb is coming back. Caleb was kind of a hit or miss for me. It was kind of how, depending on the mood. But if he becomes a genuine love interest, I don't think he's going to overtake Sylus, but he might potentially be a threat for the others. So we'll have to see how that goes. But, right. Zayne waits for the darkness to swallow him once more. Yet when he opens his eyes, the jasmine he kissed in his dreams has turned into the face of a girl. Fucking hell, scared the shit out of me. Zayne! Zayne! I frantically knock on Zayne's door. Time passes before Zayne opens it. He appears to have just woken up, his eyes hazy with sleep. I thought you were normally awake at this hour. Zayne doesn't respond. He only looks at me as if I were a stranger. Never mind. Follow me! Brimming with excitement, I grab Zayne's sleeve. I'm surprised he lets himself be dragged out of his bedchamber. The jasmine bloomed, didn't it? I bring Zayne to the top of the tower. In the joyous glow of the sun, the jasmine's trembling petals unfurl one after another. Zayne, the jasmine has bloomed! I check Zayne's expression, curious about his reaction. His eyes hold a burning spark as he looks at me. What? Haven't you been looking forward to this? Zayne lowers his gaze, suppressing the light in his eyes. It seems he's looking at the jasmine in me.
At last.
Well, am I not a skilled gardener?
You were late.
Huh? When not a single blade of grass grows here but a strange jasmine, you don't need to be a gardener.
Hence why it only bloomed in your presence.
Don't shower me with praise. Now you're making it sound like this was bound to happen. Deep in thought, Zayne stares at me. Have I offended you again? Why are you looking at me like that? His gaze shifts to my hand still holding his sleeve. I'm sorry, I was too excited. As I let go, Zayne grabs my hand.
This is not a mere coincidence.
What?
You are not the first to step foot in the Tower of Thorns. No one has been able to make the jasmine bloom. Only you have succeeded.
Something about his voice makes my heart beat more quickly. What is it? You're not your usual self.
You're right.
Zayne hesitates, an indescribable emotion flooding his eyes.
Allow me to take you to another place.
Where? You said I could leave once the jasmine blooms, did you not?
Do you want to leave now?
Do I? Do I want to steal the Creatio Protocol, make Zayne lose his power, and leave him imprisoned in the tower forevermore? No, I don't want him to be perpetually frozen anymore. But I will die, won't I? Oh. I never expected Zayne to take me to the field of jasmines and Phylos's floral inquiry. Under the warm sunlight, we walk among the sea of flowers. Zayne? He turns to me. The expression on his face is familiar, yet unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar because of how different the Foreseer and I are. The distance between us is a chasm. But the current him reminds me of that wraith. I don't understand. Is the person in front of me real or another illusion? Why did you bring me here, Zayne? Zayne's eyes shimmer like a lake on a midsummer's day.
I wish to confirm something.
What is there to confirm? He cuts my cheek, seemingly losing himself in my eyes. His gaze shines bright. My heart is racing, violently beating in my chest.
That I won't lose you again.
Then a suffocating indigo is all I see. The blinding light consumes my vision while my heart feels like it's being crushed. I clutch my chest and faint. Oh no. Oh. That is very bad time, and I gotta go put dinner on for the hubby, so I will be back with this in a minute. Hold on, let me go feed the husband. Bear with. He needs feeding. Okay, now that husband is fed, let's get this done. Because I feel like I'm about to start crying playing this. I really am. Right, let's get set up. Okay, here we go. Cradled in Zayne's arms, the girl lies still, her cold warmth lingering. The body he's holding cannot be considered one that belongs to a mortal. Under her clothes, blue lines manifest at an alarming rate. Astra warns the Foreseer in the form of an eerie indigo gleam from the Creatio Protocol on his scepter. The Foreseer is forbidden from peeking into his own destiny, or else Astra shall give up to him the sweetness of death's embrace. Astra was going to kill him? Even so, the Foreseer must see the future of this girl whose fate is deeply intertwined with his. Following destiny's golden thread, he unveils truths hidden in enigmatic mist. Along his long journey, he has met this girl time and time again. He falls in love with her, becomes a witness to her changing fate, and watches her die. Astra's tools can never fall in love. And so Astra manipulates his memories of her, plunging them into an incomprehensible mystery, a jasmine bud that never blooms and is out of reach. I slowly open my eyes. Why am I here? Before fainting, I remember a flash of indigo light and Zayne's concerned expression. Did Zayne put me here? How long was I sleeping? I struggled to stand up before staggering out of the room. Zayne. I search every part of the tower, but Zayne is nowhere to be seen. I manage to find a hidden staircase. I climb each step and find a door at the end. I can hear noises from inside the room. Oh no. Pushing open the heavy door, I see Zayne shackled to the wall in the corner of the room. This is a prison. From the walls, the floor, the ceiling, the ice approaches, hounding like a living, ravenous beast. Black as night, its glow is ominous. Zayne? What happened to you? With not a tinge of emotion, Zayne's eyes are scarlet. His hand emits a white glow, and he clenches it. The black eye suddenly elongates and stabs his body. Why are you hurting yourself?
Astra's punishment.
No. I realize his body is moving on its own. I remember when I accidentally appeared in Zayne's bed chamber. Once he came out of the bath, scars covered his body. Were those a result of his self-inflicted injuries? I need to do something so he can stop the ice. Zayne.
It's too dangerous. I won't be able to control. Leave. Now.
Oh, I'm not leaving him.
I cannot die. This agony I've experienced before.
You being tortured is worse than death itself. Is there a way to remove it?
I can't stop the ice. You'll get injured.
Her. Does it still hurt?
The ice will not relent. Leave this place, please.
You have to stop it. Oh.
Why didn't you leave? Compared to the previous trespassers of the tower, you truly are the most audacious.
My stomach is turning just watching that. Thank God that's over. The black ice has seized its movements, but the prison is still cold. I unshackle Zayne's hand. Seeing his bloodied wrist, sorrow swells up in my heart. Zayne, I approached you so I could take the creature of Protocor, but...
I know. While you were unconscious, I divined your fate and the reason you visited the tower.
Why did he punish you? Zayne's gaze is calm.
Our fates are intertwined.
What?
I bear the name of Foreseer, so Astra punished me for defying my own fate.
My hand is held in his palm, stained with blood.
Come then.
I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like this Astra, people. I really don't like this Astra. No, I'm waiting for the trauma. I'm waiting for the trauma. Zayne and I stand atop the tower once more. Under gentle moonlight, the jasmine wilts petal by petal. They fall to the ground like paper, ready to scatter to the wind. Jasmine's representing us, isn't it? How? It shouldn't be wilting already. I pick up the fallen petals, fathomless sadness washing over me.
Before, you were willing to defy Astra to free me.
I've made my choice. I'm more relieved than scared. Standing up, I look Zayne in the eye. I no longer fear the pain caused by my illness or my inevitable death. I also don't need to be married in indecision.
When?
When I saw you being tortured in that prison. Within Zayne's placid gaze, a silver of emotion escapes, flashing in his eyes.
You should have taken the Creatio Protocor.
But you must tell me your answer.
My answer.
Back in the illusion, you wanted to ensure you wouldn't lose me again. So, are you certain now? Zayne is startled at first, but then he slowly smiles.
I too made my choice back in that prison.
Light flashes in Zayne's hand, and his scepter appears.
Your illness stems from your resonance with the Creatio Protocore.
He moves the scepter, and the Creatio Protocore glows brightly when it touches my arm. He then takes the scepter, dragging it along my arm to my chest.
The Creatio Protocore grows stronger by draining away your very life.
I feel my strength fading away. My heart struggles to keep beating, yet rather than be afraid, I am anxious. What are you doing?
This would be your fate after meeting me.
Zayne stares at me, a strange determination in his eyes. He lifts his hand, and the Creatio Protocore floats from his scepter to his palm. Zayne, I don't want the Creatio Protocore anymore. Light bursts out from it, refulgent enough to illuminate all of the tower. In Zayne's hand, white light encapsulates the Creatio Protocore.
The power of Astra can curse destiny itself, and it can be used to ruin his plans.
Oh no. The Creatio Protocore's light is contained in the crystalline sphere. He puts it against my chest, and it dissipates into my heart. Power floods in, coursing through every part of my body. It's so cold. Zayne! A warm light flows from Zayne's hand into me, encouraging my weakened heart to beat once more. Frost starts to creep along Zayne's face. Oh. Come on, Mim, don't cry, don't cry. The tower begins to shake, its foundations crumbling. Serpentine ice crystals emerge, lunging towards me and Zayne. Oh, don't you dare play a fucking cutscene. Zayne embraces me, and the light from his hand shields me from the ice. Why? I wasn't gonna live for much longer. Accompanying a desperate resolve is a deep pain in Zayne's eyes.
Your destiny is not written in stone.
The ice embedded themselves into Zayne's back. Zayne!
I won't forget you. Not this time.
The light gets brighter and brighter, surrounding me until all I can see is white. Zayne! Zayne! The light fades, the ice, the tower, and the Creatio Protocore are gone. Only a familiar figure stands before me. Zayne! You're hurt!
The Creatio Protocore exists inside you. Astra's power is yours to wield. This place is bound to collapse. I'm here to bid you farewell.
Don't leave me. Stay by your side. The tears I've been desperately trying to hold back fall. Zayne's gaze softens.
Don't cry.
I'm fucking late for that! I thought you said you didn't want to lose me again.
I will never lose you as long as you are alive and well.
And the glasses are coming off.
The riddle I've struggled with has an answer. At long last, I shall never forget you.
Zayne wipes away my
I
tears.
wish to end it on my own terms. May I?
He slowly smiles. It's like watching the first sprout break through melting snow. Zayne leans down and kisses me for the first and last time. Light washes over me akin to waves on the shore. I try to reach out to him, but he smiles and slips away like sand falling between my fingers. Zayne! 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 I sit up and find myself in a field of flowers. Jasmines. The warm sun shines down on them. I'm reminded of the book's illusion. However, these jasmines are in full bloom.
Are you alright, miss?
No. Where am I? I need to visit the Tower of Forts.
Don't be silly. There's been a raging blizzard these past few days. All entrances to the mountain have been blocked.
But the forest here.
Even he cannot defy Astra. No one knows when the mountain path will be clear. Best you forget about receiving any prophecies.
The tower is but a tiny dot in the distance. I can barely see it. My frozen heart shatters, breaks, splits within a single moment. I lower my head, my tears falling one by one onto the blooming flowers.
Don't cry.
I normally would pause and keep my voice back, but I think you guys are probably going to appreciate seeing the emotion right now. Through the tears, I see a sphere of soft white light.
Promise me you won't cry anymore.
Stop breaking my heart then! Withered jasmine petals appear in my hand.
Now they shall never wilt.
Fallen petals merge into a single jasmine flower. Ice envelops it, making it as lovely as the day it bloomed.
With this, I will not forget my answer.
Howled Blizzard has never seen before sealed all paths leading to the Tower of Forts. There's no telling if the snowstorm will ever disappear. The mountain and its lord have fallen into an eternal slumber. No one can venture into the tower. No one has met the Foreseer since. Legend rests in fathomless rime and snow, forgotten. Oh, please tell me that's the end. Thank God! I don't think I could have taken much more of that. That one hit me very, very hard. He's better gonna be the fucking death of me, I swear to God. I think this is gonna be a hubby one, I reckon. Let me text him real quick.
Hello, fuzzy bitches. I has cat. Hopefully this book will give you strength.
He do it. Yeah.
Sure.
No!
Look at him.
Stop torturing him. Ah! But that's a lot. How many times have I ugly cried this week?
I haven't cried in a year. And this is pretty much on a daily basis at this point. I don't think I've seen go one day without you crying.
Rude!
I'm telling the truth.
Wipe my ass. Oh, I'm so sending a check to Info for my therapy after this last myth is done. Thank the Lord for waterproof mascara. Hell yeah, my face is still intact. Ugh, not sure about the foundation though, that might have to get reapplied. Actually, no, I think we're alright. Woo!